Mitch.
I would like to thank you first, Mr. Bass, for giving me this opportunity. My name is Mitch and today I'm going to talk about CrossFit for the next couple of minutes. So I've been doing CrossFit for about 2 years now. I got involved through my brother. He's actually an affiliate owner in CrossFit Gym in Richmond. And it is something that, for someone that wasn't very active, I didn't do a lot of working out. It was really big for me because it helped me to just find a healthier lifestyle. I started eating a lot healthier, started just stopping going out and partying. I started getting more sleep and doing more productive life things in general. A lot of the big things that most people hear with CrossFit is they A, think we're all crazy, and B, they think we're all super dangerous. And so these are the 2 points that I'm going to cover today, because it's really all up to who you talk to and who you train with. So throughout my 2 years, I've been healthier than ever, and I've gone through a couple of circumstances outside of the gym where injuries should have been much worse than they were, and they weren't, and I like to credit that to being in a lot healthier shape. The basis of CrossFit is that we really just relabeled the name of, like, athletic training. We took all the things that you see these professional athletes do, and we combined them with a couple other movements and gymnastics things, and it's really like the basis of fitness. We got rid of all that stuff in your gym that's got cables on it or weird elastic bands, and we got down to the bare minimum stuff that really helps work your whole body rather than individual muscles at once. And so the whole idea behind safety is the biggest thing. I think if you would ever look at CrossFit injuries, the first thing you're going to come up and find is people getting rhabdomyolysis. I'm sure you know what that is. Rhabdo is essentially like where you overexert a set of muscles and it causes your kidneys to break down. And it's totally possible to get in CrossFit. It's also totally possible to get just doing any activity in extreme amounts. So it comes to A, knowing your limits, and B, having a great coach that also knows where to tell you, hey, it's time for you to take a break. So the majority of the times where you'll find cases where people have gotten rhabdo has either been people that didn't have a lot of physical activity in their life prior to, or just refused to stop, which, I mean, good on them for having a whole lot of heart and drive, but also dumb on them for not having the smarts to say, all right, this is where I need to back it down some. And the majority of those cases you find is where coaches have supplied them with programming, which is basically your workout routine, and it's overdone. It's the type of programming that you would give out for elite level athletes, not for your average Joe that comes into a CrossFit gym and works out. That's really the big thing in the world of CrossFit right now, is they're just trying to clear their name. There's been a couple studies in the past that have been published and now have been retracted after they've found out that a lot of the information was falsified. Really, other than that, it's just a really good way of exercising. I can go into the gym and work out for 30 minutes and get way more physical activity than somebody that goes into your normal gym and spends 2 hours there, just because of the high intensity and the amount of total body workouts that we're doing. So I urge you all to give it a shot if you ever get a chance. It's really cool. It's a really great environment. Everybody pushes one another, and you'll meet a lot of friendly people. That's all I have. Any questions?
So this is a really dumb question, but what is CrossFit? Like, what is?
So it's high intensity, extremely variable. I don't even know what word to use. It's essentially, you're never going to do the same thing. Like, I'm never going to look at my schedule and say, all right, next Monday is chest day, or Tuesday I'm doing leg day. Like, the workouts are completely random, and it's high intensity. So it's never like you're going around at a slight pace, casually doing something. Your workouts sometimes could range as little as 10 minutes long, but the idea is once it starts, you're going 100% all out, or to the best of your ability that you can maintain safe and proper form for your movements. So we use movements, the Olympic weightlifting movements, so snatch, clean and jerk, and then your basic strength movements like deadlift, back squat, and bench press. And then we involve things from gymnastics like handstands, muscle-ups, pull-ups, ring muscle-ups, and then squats like a single leg pistol, if you've ever seen those. So basically we combine all of that stuff, throw in running, rowing, box jumps, a lot of plyometric things. Is the rowing? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we row a lot.
Rowing.
Yeah, the ski erg is our friend.
Do you know how to use it properly?
Oh yeah.
Because everybody will like get on it and they look like idiots, and I'm like, please stop what you're doing right now.
Watching them.
Did you do crap?
Here at Tech, yeah.
That's right.
Any
Okay,
other
right.
questions?
Sorry.
What are some of the research that has been disputed and has been retracted? Like, what is? Can you give an example of that?
If you ever heard of NASM or ACSM or ASDM, American Society of Sports Medicine, I think. They put out, essentially, and this was years back too, this is like the late single digits of 2000, like 2008, 2009, I think. They went out and did a study across the gym, and they gave a bunch of people surveys and asked them over a course of time to report back on what they had. And they eventually published their findings and said that CrossFit was dangerous. It's like this certain percentage of people are going to get injured if you do it. It's bad for you. And then it turns out when all that came out, CrossFit, like the actual trademark CrossFit, people decided that they got a legal team involved, and they sued the people for what they wrote. And so it went into a bunch of investigations, and they found that the gym where it was run through, a lot of people that stopped coming, or the people that claimed like injuries, some of them never claimed having injuries, so they like falsified people being injured because they just never came back to like continue filling out their surveys. I want to say they said there was only really like one case of actual injury that happened over the course of, I think it was like 6 weeks or something. And the most recent one that I actually just looked at yesterday was they posted another set of findings, and it was an article about the hazards of regular health training and regular CrossFit training. And so like the headline for it was CrossFit is hazardous, but then if you look down like the table on the last page they had, it showed the numbers of injuries and the number of participants, and they used like 52 people just doing regular fitness, and they used like 100 and something people doing CrossFit. And so the injuries per person were higher for regular training than it was for CrossFit. And basically it was like they didn't want to get in trouble for like making CrossFit look worse than it is, so they just decided like, oh, maybe nobody would pay attention and read the numbers. We'll say they're hazardous, and nobody will realize that we're also hazardous, because most people aren't really going to look at the numbers on the bottom paragraph, you know. So that's the biggest thing. That's what I tell a lot of people. So I coached my brother's gym through the majority of the past year, and the biggest thing I told people that would come in was the only way you're going to get injured is if we allow it, which isn't something that we as good trainers should allow to happen. We're not going to allow you to throw a bunch of weight on the bar if you can't manage to do it with good form. We're not allowing you to do things that don't look like you're capable of doing. We work up to those things until you can do everything safely.